Some people do not casually follow sports, they orbit around it. Their weekend is not planned around free time, it is planned around kickoff. The jersey comes out early. The schedule is memorized. The mood in the room starts changing hours before anything has even happened. And when the game goes badly, it does not just ruin an evening. Somehow, it leaks into the next day. Sometimes the next few days. From the outside, that can look absurd. Why let a game, played by people you have never met, affect your nervous system like it is personal? But that question misses something important. Because for people who obsess over sports, it is personal. Just not in the simple way it seems. Sports obsession is one of the most misunderstood things in modern psychology. People often reduce it to escapism, immaturity, or misplaced priorities. But when you look closely at what sports actually gives people, the intensity starts to make sense. Because it was never just about points on a board. It is about belonging. It is about tension. It is about ritual, story, identity, and the rare chance to feel something fully and publicly. Start with belonging because that is the deepest layer. Human beings are built for group identity. We are constantly looking for some version of us. A team provides that with unusual clarity. There are colors, symbols, enemies, loyalties, traditions, and shared memory. You can walk into a stadium full of strangers and feel instantly less alone, simply because they want what you want. That is not shallow. That is one of the oldest instincts humans have, wearing modern clothing. And in a world where community often feels thinner than it used to, that matters even more. Many people no longer have strong neighborhoods, shared rituals, or stable collective spaces. Sports steps into that gap. It gives people a tribe they did not have to build from scratch. But belonging alone does not explain obsession. The next layer is psychological suspense. Sports is built on uncertainty, and uncertainty has a peculiar power over attention. When something could go either way, the mind locks in. Every play matters more. Every mistake feels heavier. Every near miss stretches time. Psychologists have long observed that anticipation can be just as emotionally powerful as reward itself, sometimes even more. That is part of why close games feel almost unbearable. They create a controlled space where people can experience hope, dread, relief, and tension at full volume. And that intensity is not random, it is structured. Sports is one of the few places in adult life where emotional volatility is not only allowed but expected. You can panic, yell, grieve, celebrate, and look completely unhinged for 3 hours, and nobody thinks you need to calm down. In fact, the louder you feel it, the more normal you seem. That matters more than people realize, because most adults do not have many socially acceptable spaces left for big emotion. Daily life rewards control. Work rewards restraint. Even personal relationships often reward emotional moderation. Sports creates an exception. It gives people a place where collective feeling is not embarrassing. It is the entire point. For some people, that is not just entertaining, it is relieving. Then there is the story. This is where sports becomes much bigger than a game. Every season comes with narratives people can emotionally live inside. The underdog, the collapse, the comeback, the aging legend trying to prove there is still something left. The rivalry that carries years of history. The team that keeps breaking your heart until one day it does not. People are not only watching outcomes, they are inhabiting stories. And humans are deeply responsive to story. We do not simply experience life as isolated events. We instinctively organize things into arcs, meanings, patterns, and turning points. Sports offers all of that in real time. It gives people a ready-made drama with uncertainty, memory, symbolism, and stakes. No scriptwriter can fully control it. That unpredictability is exactly what makes it feel alive. Then come the rituals, which are often dismissed as silly but are actually doing serious psychological work. The jersey, the lucky seat, the pre-game meal. The same route, the same snacks, the same message sent to the same friend before the game starts. Everyone knows these routines do not influence the final score, but that is not really why they exist. Ritual helps human beings manage uncertainty. It creates order where there is no control. It turns waiting into participation. It gives shape to time. And sports does this beautifully. It organizes the calendar. It marks the seasons. It gives people recurring moments to gather, hope, remember, and repeat. For many fans, sports is not just a hobby, it is a rhythm. There is also the attachment people form to teams and players over time. Follow someone's career long enough, suffer through enough seasons, celebrate enough improbable wins, and the bond starts to feel real. Even if the relationship is one-sided, the emotional investment is not fake. Human attachment does not always require reciprocity to feel powerful. Repeated attention, emotional significance, and shared memory can create a sense of closeness that the brain experiences as meaningful. Of course, there is a line. For some people, sports stops being a meaningful part of life and starts becoming a substitute for one. When a team's loss genuinely destabilizes self-worth, or when fandom becomes the main escape from dissatisfaction, the attachment can drift into something less healthy. But that is not the whole story, and it is not the fairest one either. Because for most people who obsess over sports, this is not really about a scoreboard. It is about joining something larger than yourself. It is about having a place to put loyalty, hope, memory, and emotion. It is about entering a shared story every week and feeling, for a few hours, like your heart is beating in sync with thousands of other people. That is what people are really obsessed with. Not just the game, the feeling of belonging to something that feels alive. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more psychology behind everyday human behavior.